Spoiler, this one's last place. I've never seen it, never want to see it, and I sort of kind of just forgot it even existed.
And we stand together. X-Men. All of us.
So, in last place of the movies I've actually seen is number 9, X-Men Apocalypse. This movie is a prequel that does pretty much everything wrong. I mean, I feel like the depiction of the villain Apocalypse was okay at best, but everyone else was depicted terribly. It was just extremely boring. So if you were to never have seen any of these movies and you wanted to start with one, do not watch this one. I think it's a 6 out of 10. And at number 8 I got X-Men 3 The Last Stand. I want to say that the first act is actually somewhat decent, but the other 2 acts are fucking atrocious, with Wolverine being pretty much the only decent character in the entire fucking movie. But yeah, I definitely recommend skipping it. I give it a 6 out of 10. And number 7 I got X-Men Origins Wolverine. This movie is actually extremely goofy, so if you want to watch it just to laugh, it's actually kind of fun that way. If you watch it wanting an actual good movie, you're not going to get it. With one of the funniest things being the CGI used on his claws look ridiculously cartoony, even for 2009, because it looks more like it came out in like 1991 maybe. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. In 6th place I got X-Men 2, or X2 as many call it. And for people who like X-Men, for whatever reason this is usually their favorite one, or at least top 2. I mean, I think it's okay. I don't get the hype for this one. I definitely don't think it's the best one, but I mean, it does have all the qualifications of just a good movie. Not to sound all fucking preachy. It's just solid. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Number 5, I got X-Men First Class, the first X-Men prequel to come out in 2011, taking place during the 60s, during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I really like this one. Seeing all these characters that are usually super fucking old being portrayed in their late 20s, early 30s, or at least that's how old they look. Maybe they're supposed to be portrayed even younger, I'm not sure. And yeah, the casting for all the younger versions were really good. The choice of Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique was very questionable, because we all knew that she was probably going to be like a drama queen later on, and she definitely did, because she was at the peak of her career, and her portrayal of Mystique just kept getting worse each time she did it, so she's probably in her best in this one. But McAvoy and Fassbender are pretty great as Magneto and Professor X, so I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. Number 4, I got The Wolverine. This one isn't so much an X-Men movie, because I mean obviously it's just the Wolverine, but I like the little premise of him going to Japan to say goodbye to an old man that he once knew as a young man during the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, since Wolverine's like 100 and something years old, right? But yeah, the shit that just goes down with him going up against like the Yakuza and all that, it's pretty entertaining. The final battle at the end though is kind of dumb, but 2/3 ain't bad. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Number 3, I got the first X-Men movie, came out in 2000. I feel like this one's a little bit underrated, because even though most of the CGI kind of looks like shit, the movie itself is quick and easy to watch. It establishes all the X-Men characters, giving everybody a reason to be there. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 also. Number 2, I got X-Men Days of Future Past. The reason I have it at number 2 is I just really like movies with time travel. So this one's primarily a prequel, but it starts off in the future. And then Wolverine is sent back in time to the 70s, I think, to prevent the creation of these robots called Sentinels that pretty much wipe out everybody. Simple enough premise to me, and I really like it. Yeah, and this is the only one where we have Wolverine interacting with the young renditions of Magneto and Xavier, which is great. Plus Quicksilver is pretty good in this one. So I'm going to give it this one an 8 out of 10. And number 1 is easily Logan for me. The final movie with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, playing a fucking sick of life, grizzled old Wolverine has been alive for, I don't know, close to 150, 200 years old, something like that. Well, according to Google, says that Logan died at around 195 years old, so I was close. The feeling of this movie and just the look of it, the way it's shot and everything, it kind of almost looks like a modern day western, which is pretty cool. And him having to be a father figure to a clone of himself, spoiler I guess, except it's a girl. I thought that was pretty entertaining, and Xavier being old as shit, ready to die, like, everything about this movie is pretty good. Some people don't think it's rewatchable because it's pretty depressing, but that's why I like it. So anyway, I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 as well. Alright, I'm done.